Shalom, 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 Israel, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the apostles and the elders and great millstone, regardless if you accept it or not, who've been ruling well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High can continue to put in a spirit to endure. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that is scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High can continue to put in a spirit to endure. Shalom to the wise and the single sisters as believers of His word. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put on your spirit to pursue to be a loving and silent, virtuous wife. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not the faith. Love, if you want, I got this on YouTube too. Love, this on YouTube too. It just did it just to do it. But I don't really have anything super planned, just to bring in the motivation for this beautiful Shabbat. Passover is like a few weeks away. I know everybody else some brothers congregations is doing it probably next month. But we in the spirit of Passover, But the title that you might see on the screen is someone said the new American dream is to leave, leave the world behind. But it's really a spiritual thing, because even if you leave, you're still oppressed. You're still in the hands of your oppressor. So to really leave this place, you have to spiritually leave. Spiritually, don't be a part of what the fuck is going on in this place. I don't care how anybody feel. I might cuss a little. It might sound a little harsh, but who gives a damn? We're too much distracted, and we do not know what the fuck is going on. So this is a test. As soon as you wake up, it is a test. This whole life experience is a test, but you niggas don't know. And it's fine, because we all had that nigga state where we didn't know, right? So this is Baruch chapter 3. And I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, "For thou endures forever, and we perish utterly." Right? And this is gonna go into the rest of their prayer and confession contained in the book. It said, "O Lord Almighty, thou power of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites, and of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of their power, for the which caused these plagues cleave unto us. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power in thy name now at this time. For thou art the Lord our power, in thee, O Yahweh, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, to be subject to payment according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power." Right? So like I said, you woke up and you are in a test. The Black, Latinos, and Native, you are special. You are the most important person in the earth. And regardless if you are poor as hell, you homeless, you got money. You really playing your part when you do the will of the Most High. Everything outside of really knowing who you are, knowing who the Most High is a fucking distraction. I have 5 phones? Distraction. Anything on this damn phone that's not pertaining to thus saith the Lord, work, is a distraction. Now, if it is righteous, you can do it, right? But it's certain things that is righteous that we put more attention on than Yahweh Shem Yahushai. A lot of people think their life is serious. Your life don't mean shit if you don't know what the hell is going on. Right now, it's bombing going on overseas. This is the news right now. I'm giving you the news right now because nobody else want to talk about what the fuck going on, but everybody want to have a party. We want to plan a bay vacation. Hey, you can do that, but have some common sense and know what the fuck is going on, It's wicked rulers ruling the earth. You think you at peace? Niggas, oh, I got money. I got a bag. Nigga, you got a bag, but is your face on your money? You don't got real money where you can tell a continent what to do and what not to do. You don't got real money unless niggas is using your bread with your face on it. You don't got shit if you don't got your own currency in this world. So let's think about it. You know, you should be knowing who your enemies is. You should be knowing who you is. A lot of us don't know why we're in America because we don't read, we don't care. We're the next blunt at. We're the next little thought. We're the next little thought. Where the niggas at? You know, we could talk about the same thing over and over again. You teaching your kids how you telling your kids holidays, but you're not teaching them shit. You say Black History Month, but Black History is every fucking day. You know, if you really knew what the heck was going on. But this is boring to y'all, you know. Hold on. Let's continue to read history because the Lord said he was going to scatter us. And we're in captivity. We're approached for a reproach and a curse and we're subject to payment, which you pay rent, insurance, and a lot of these things like insurance that all derives that they got their wealth from slavery, just like bank accounts. Bank accounts that you see right here, this all profited from slavery, you know, and a lot of us have bank accounts by these corporations like Wells Fargo. They profited from slavery. Regardless, we need money. I got Citizen Bank, I got Chime, and I got Spruce. I got 3 bank accounts. At the end of the day, they all profited from slavery. But when you do your study, you be like, damn, the Lord told us, this is Deuteronomy, I think it's 28, and I think it's 48. It's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. It says, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, and in want of all things he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now, even if you go into all captivities, even though we direct this to Esau, but you have to know in all captivities we had that we were forced to take their traditions. Go look at Daniel. They were in Babylon and they changed their name to Babylonian names. You know, like Ezra, Hananiah, Mishael. They had Hebrew names. They changed it to Babylonian names because their oppressors changed them. Greek captivity, you know, being Hellenized, Rome. You know, we were always pushed to do something different, to be pulled away from the ways of the Most High. And we always had coons in our nation that just yielded. But these scriptures are supposed to make you mad and be like, dang. And in certain cases, especially in the Rome captivity, it was hard. Now, when you have no way out, you poor as hell, you have no food, it's going to cause a man to eat some pork. Pork, lobster, crab, and shrimp was a poor man's meal. Go watch the TV show Rome. They didn't have lamb and all. You had to have some type of money to have lamb. What's in the book, King? What's in the book? You know, wealth back in the day was land, cattle. It was way different. You know how brothers think that they got hoes? It was way different. Brothers had wives and concubines. We had way more order. Now brothers we trying to be sneaky. Oh, my girl gonna get mad. I'm talking to this girl. I'm laying with her. Back then, you were running your shit. But this is when we get into captivity, we lose who we is. You know, the reason why, you know, the order is not right is because a lot of men that get women don't want to dwell with their wives according to knowledge. But that's all the Lord. The Lord put that spirit on you not to teach your wife, because the Lord knew some way, somehow, you most likely was a piece of shit. And I had women, I wasn't teaching them nothing. I was a piece of shit in my time. This is 2 Peter chapter 3. No. 1 Peter chapter 3, Salaki. Verse 7, it says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. You know, and when we read it in Baruch, this is going for the men and the women. Of course, it starts with the men, but women, you can be used as a vessel of a weapon. Just like look at Abraham, Isaac, when they went into Egypt because of a famine, they said, look, when we go in here, you say you my sister. And then that almost caused these men to go and sin, let alone you go to Ezra, the 3rd chapter, the 4th chapter to be exact, verse 22 to 27, it tells you that men will go out their wits for a woman. Men would lose their power. When you watch Rome, if you knew about Mark Antony under going against, he was under Caesar, but he was going against Octavia, which his name changed to Caesar Augustus. You know, when he was kicking it with Cleopatra, I don't know which one it was, but he was cleaving to Cleopatra, and they was doing drugs. You know, back then, you know, Egypt, they used to get high off certain lily plants. It made you hallucinate, but they had other drugs. You know, they had opioids. They had certain drugs back then. And Mark Antony started losing his power because he started giving himself up to the Egyptian way, even though he is a Rome. I'm just saying, all kings, a lot of kings lost their way by following a woman, especially an Israelite man. When we go into 1st and 2nd Kings, when you go into Kings, I believe the 18th chapter. But if you go further into King Ahab, his wife Jezebel killed an Israelite man for his inheritance, for his land, and she did it wickedly. And that man cried and allowed his woman to take charge, you know, and she killed an Israelite man. And after she came back with that land, he didn't even judge her or say anything. A lot of, if we was to get back in order and women played a role and the men played a role, our nation would strive in the spirit and in its truth, because we strive off of this. This kingdom is really about to fall. If you don't know, every nation is growing against America. America has allies. I have, my other phone is over there. I would like to show you that Donald Trump says if he becomes president again, he is going to he's going to remove NATO as allies, because he says America don't need allies. In the scriptures, it says the nations are going to go against Mystery Babylon. Prophecy-wise, it will really be America. So when we make this make sense, why the elites is preparing with their bunkers overseas, but what about the poor? It's the same as the movie 2012. I see my cousin, he trying to slide in there a preset. Okay, I see you, young. I see you. Oh, okay. He got a little flavor. I see him over there. He went somewhere. I see you, cousin. He went to Proverbs 31, verse 3. Lamel's mother prophesied to him. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, the word of King Lamel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, in what the son of my womb, in what the son of my vows, give not thy strength unto a woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Right? And this is why the men are called, you know, Proverbs 8 and 4. And that's why if men was to take a break and study these scriptures and get it right, you can prepare your household. You know, your whole household can fall, especially when they do the hour of temptation and they start ushering in the mark of the beast, the charagma. And brothers, a lot of brothers, if you take it, your whole household can't get the kingdom. So it's very important that we make our calling and election sure. I'm gonna go to this other preset, Ezekiel 9 and 4. Because if brothers really want that kingdom, especially for your loved ones, your wife, you got to really strive for the Most High, man. What the Lord said in Mark 3:35. Whoever do the will of my father, whoever do the will of my father is my brother, mother, and sister. You trying to be a relative, a friend of Yahweh Bashim Shai. This is Ezekiel 9 and 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. If I go to the blue letter, this mark is talking about a spiritual exemptment from judgment. So it's going to be that spiritual mark that we see in Revelations, the 14th and the 15th chapter, that the elect is going to have. What they would say would be the name of the Most High on their forehead, but it's spiritual. The Lord knows who his elect is. He know his sheep because they're in his hand. So every man, especially men, And women should be aiming to have that mark of exemption. If you know you fucked up, you can't just say I fucked up and not try to change. You know, we have to take accountability. In order to change, you have to do it. You know, I'm no better than nobody. I was a piece of shit. And I always say this for myself. It helps me build up my faith. And it helps for somebody else because some people be a look, well, these niggas think they better. I am no better than you, but I know I'm serving a true God. So my actions is better than you. But I know if I could do it, you can do it. We all, man, what? Who, you know, hoochie mamas, I know hoochie mamas. You know, sluts, I know sluts. You know, gangsters, pimps, I know them too. I know how to be lazy. I know a hard working man. We know scammers. We know sellouts. We know brothers that's chasing their dreams like Meek Mills. You got sweet tooth bandits out here. ABC 123. You got studs. I know all of them. Got some of my fans. We everything that you might know that's in this world, I know it too. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, do you really know who the Most High is? Do you really know who you is? Are you a child born of the flesh or are you a child born of the spirit? Oh, no, actually, that's a little too deep for you, right? At the end of the day, we fucked up and we're in a place which is a reflection of hell. We're in a condition. The more the wicked are rich, the more they're enjoying their heaven, the more we're in hell in this bondage captivity, right? So let's continue to go on. This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 9. Hear Israel, the commandments of life, right? And Yahweh's life. Give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead. You know, the nation of Israel, the men and the women, we are defiled with the dead. You know, the more we live in this place, the more defiled we become, is because look at our actions. Look how our women walk around more nude, is because our oppressors is dumbing us down and letting us see it's okay to be like this. Oh, sister, brother, don't worry about how the world judge you. Now we got more distraction. Meek Mills, he's a damn butt bandit now. You don't care what anybody say. But if that's coming out, and he's over here getting deals, you getting your right, is because he did a deal behind the scene, and this is his humiliation. Something going on, but the Lord is really exposing that bill has to get paid. You know, verse 11, it says that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom, right? We abandon the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This is free access. This is in the air. You know, the Lord would do nothing but he reveal his secrets to the prophets. If the Lord didn't put it on your spirit to move and go look for the men of the Lord, you're assed out. You're really assed out. The Lord didn't put it on you to really sit down and, you know what, let me smoke. I'm smoking this blunt, but let me go on YouTube and look up Israelites. Or let me see what these brothers talking about. You know what, let me go pull up to them to camp. Some people say I am the Israelite, but don't do the work. Brother, all Israel is not Israel. You just an Israelite, but you're not an Israelite in the spirit, man. You know, yeah, you're in the flesh, but we got to be moving way different. You know, it's cool that people know that they Israelites, but what's next? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are Israel. You know, everybody is not an Israelite just because they're Israel. You know, it takes one to know one, and it takes one to move like one to know how to really be an Israelite. You know, that's why he says, "Blessed is he that readeth." You really get in this thing. You really get in this thing. Let me see what this verse. This is Numbers 23:19. It says, "The Most High is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he not spoken, and shall he not make it good?" Just like how when we drop down in Romans chapter 9, you know, the Lord is only dealing with a few, right? When we go drop down, because we understand the same thing happened with Moses. The Lord said, I'm gonna have compassion on who I'm gonna have compassion. You got to know the Lord made all these nations for a purpose, but he only chose Israel to be his battle axes, to be his prophets, to be his chosen, the ones he loved. He hallowed their land, right? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. So if the Most High put you in this ministry, enabled you, 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 12, the Lord has shown you mercy, and you are Israel. All Israel is not Israel. If you're not walking this walk, you're not truly an Israelite. You are an Israelite, but to really be the Lord's children, you have to move, right? This is 1 John 2 and 6. He saith, he that saith he abideth in him ought himself also so to walk even as he walked. So we supposed to be walking in the spirit like Yahushua. It's supposed to be a natural thing that you're walking in the law. Let alone we have to look at people in the inward part, seeing that it is some people that might want to serve the Lord, but they're too stuck in their ways, or they can be poor and they just thinking about food, or they thinking about being high. Because back in the day, you got to know, if I was a drug dealer, I was smoking weed, I was loving the women. If the Lord got me in this, the Lord can get somebody that can be a whore, a slut bucket, a gangster, a killer, and bring them in this truth. But the Lord has to be dealing with them. You know, it was a man that got beat down in prison because he made fringes and said he was a Hebrew Israelite. So if he's in prison making fringes and saying he a Hebrew Israelite, the Lord choose who he wants. You know, we didn't choose him; he chose us. Right, I think that's in Matthew. I was just reading this last night. It's crazy. You be having so many precepts in your head and then you just forget it. Hold on, I gotta make sure. Yep, I was right there. This is St. John chapter 15, verse 16. It says, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. This is directed towards the men of the Lord, like the prophets and the apostles. Now, it could be sisters in here too that the Lord can be using, and they can just, be talking to a sister or talking to some children, and, those can be sheep too, but the Lord is really talking to the men. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has chosen the men to bring forth this ministry, let alone sisters that come in this thing and they start playing a role, being more submissive, not being compatible with their husband. Yes, they know, oh, damn, this is hurting me, but who am I? This man is serving the Lord. I couldn't be telling him what to do. And if you're moving in the spirit and you already check your own self before you wreck yourself, yeah, the Lord is dealing with you, let alone if the Lord is bringing you across the men of the Lord that's teaching, or if the Lord give you a so-called man of the Lord. If the Lord give you a righteous man, the Lord is dealing with you, says, right? So the Lord chose you. You didn't choose him. And it's just like Samuel, 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, verse 1 to 7. Samuel, the Lord had him go through all of David's siblings, and the Lord didn't choose none of them. But at the time of David, he chose David in front of all his brothers, right? And those was men. It wasn't no damn woman. But of course, the children of the Lord is through the men. So it don't matter if you're a man or a woman. The children of the Lord comes through the loins of men, right? And let alone, you have to be walking this walk. When you go into the beginning of Susanna, I will look at her as one of those children that are part of the chosen seed, right? This is Susanna, the first chapter. It says, There dwelt a man in Babylon called Joachim, Joachim or Joachim. It says, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Chalceus, a very fair woman and one that feared the Most High. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses, because Moses was pushing the law, but that law was really of the Most High. So she was keeping the first 5 books of they taught her the first 5 books of the Bible, but they were going in depth so she can know how to play her role as a woman, let alone the dietary law, other laws that pertain to her. She wasn't taught to keep the priests, the priest law, the men law, because she's not a priest or a man, but they were teaching her. And this is what we support in the spirit. You're just going to naturally teach your kids, like Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1-6. You're going to naturally teach your children, especially if the spirit dealing with you, right? But in order to raise your daughter, you want to teach her the law so she can know how to conduct herself around men, how to conduct herself in her house, especially if she on her period, if she had a child, and if she got a man, just in general. You have to teach your daughter that how is a woman supposed to be speaking to her husband? She's supposed to be a loving and silent woman, especially around men. Without the Bible, you wouldn't be able, you just teach your daughter to do whatever she wants. And it's the same orchestration. You see that right there. Let's go to Sirach, the 33rd chapter. And it just goes back to Baruch chapter 3. If we know we're in a place that's cursed, teach your children who they are, why we cursed, right? So that they can understand, why is this happening to me? This is Sirach chapter 33. And I'm going to start at 2. It says, a wise man hateth not the law, but he that is a hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle, just like the Matrix. We trust in the law, right? But if you trust in the law, who the law comes from? The Most High. And the law is Yahweh Shai. It's even more why we trust it, because it comes from our power. It says, prepare to what to say, and so thou shalt be heard, and bend up instruction, and then make answer. Salaki. Is this? No. I'm going to slide over to Sirach chapter 30. And I'm going to verse 3, because we seen a wise man trusteth in the law. It says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice. What is he teaching him? Thus saith the Lord. Verse 4, though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he have left one behind like himself, right? It's just like the Most High sending his son, right? And the son comes in a reflection of his father, and if the Lord, Yahweh Shai said he chose us, he chose his elect to go out and feed and teach. The Lord chose the right teachers. You false teacher, the Lord chose that for the left-hand side. The Lord is perfect and right in his choice. So he chose the right brothers to teach the milk, the parables, the dark sayings, and the prophecies, the attribute of men, the attribute of women. The Lord chose the right teachers, and some of them teachers are still building up, but the Lord chose the right teachers so that even if they was teaching their children or they teaching other men, they'll be planting seeds, right? But I gotta go. I just got that call. It's time to go to camp, man. I love y'all to the moon and never back, man. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Al Shai Bashem Kakadash. Yeah, I'm gonna say shalom, family. I gotta end this. They wilding over here.